back with the CRX, and we were just neating up a few things. So I found a bit of wire in here, I think going to the fuel pump. So someone obviously had problems with it priming or not priming, and I've just got rid of that because it had a Scotch lock on it, and I hate those things. And I just put some proper bit of wire in there, soldered it, and heat shrunk it, and I'm just going to wrap that up. And he's working on the carpet. So he found a load of mould and crap, which you can probably see just the remnants of it.
Just say
and then what do you do, Andy? You tell me what we did.
So put some bicarbonate of soda on there, then sprinkled a bit of just normal vinegar on it to set it off.
Yeah, I think you had that in the back here. Look, there's some bit of Sarson's finest in the back there.
And then just put a bit of odour kind of thing, just a capful of this stuff. It could be anything really, but it's just because it's going to stink. And it was really kind of moulded on. There's probably like a patch about as big as this box probably in the footwell. Bit of a worry because I could see water down there on the ledge. So there's clearly water getting in from somewhere.
It could be historic though, couldn't it, as well?
Yeah. We could,
have a look at the oven, Matt. Let's do a big reveal, Andy. Come on.
So this one's not too bad actually.
Yeah. Okay, so
it's a bit dirty.
Something to know about this side then that's different.
Yeah, it could be a seal on a door.
Wonder about the these things sometimes block up. So it might be interesting to find out. This is from the sunroof. Find out where that's going to, if there's anything in it. Okay, so that's a bit of a result anyway. So then we're just going to put the rest of the interior in.
Yeah.
And see where we get to.
Look at the car mat where the mould was. So I've got some bicarbonate of soda. Just put that on here. Oh, that's loads. Don't need that much.
Well, you may as well get it on the whole piece now, because
yeah.
you may as well spread it over a bit. I mean, you're going to be teaching me something.
I'm teaching you. Then you get some
distilled vinegar.
Brambles distilled.
Starts to fizz up.
And then what you do is you finish off with some fresh home odour remover and disinfectant, just to make it smell nice.
Thanks, Andy. Or just a cap.
Just a cap. Don't
part of a cap.
Well, because it's only small.
Yeah, go on.
Then you get the brush and just maybe do it outside of the carpet.
Go over here. What do we do? Al fresco.
Just to get some of this stuff off. A bit of a meal of that, but anyway, there you go.
That's a terrible job, mate. I can tell this isn't in the best of states, the aerial. Not sure if it pulls out the whole way or not. Doesn't seem. Oh, here we go. But the seal's gone. There's only one screw in there. I've actually bought another one, so I'm going to get a brand new one in there. Coming here, someone's obviously had some fun with this because it's just zip tied in place at a few points. Here, for example, and I'm just going to try and chase it back out. I think it's coming to here. See if I can't just take this whole aerial out to begin with, so I can fit a new one. There we have it. I managed to get it from out there, and then it's next to this drain there. But I think just coming up the top now, I'll probably have some luck just hopefully undoing these. See if I can't take this out. Just undid the single screw there. You can see this seal's knackered. It's actually completely snapped there. See if I can't thread this out here. I think it's just going to get caught on here a bit. So two hands, if I feed that and yank it out, hopefully it'll come. There we have it, the whole thing's out. Now I'm going to have a look at the new unit. So this is the new one here on the right. You can see it's in good condition. It isn't snapped like this one is at the top. It's obviously pretty much the same length, same connector on the end, and it's got a nice new seal. So quite simple, just whack this back in and just feed it through. So I've got two new screws. They are M4 by 12mm. I think that's going to do the job nicely. It's basically the same as whatever that was, a bit short maybe, but it'll do. And then just come up here and just check that they go in as well, because it's going to be easier to figure it whole thing out now. So that one's in, and what I'll do is I'll just wind it in a few turns and just check the thread. It's all good on both of them. See, they're winding in nicely. That should work. Bit of rust here. That's not particularly clever, but hopefully the seal will cover that. And lobbed a bit of crust on there just to kind of stop that getting any worse. Just pulled this little drain pipe back with just pinch this together, and you can slide that little clip off there, and then you can just force this back. Flat blade screwdriver, and then it'll be much easier now just to poke this little cable through, which I'll do now. Definitely the easiest way of getting it through that little gap is feed it a little bit of the way and get the pliers just to kind of nip it through. And when you've done that, you can just pull this cable through like that, and then just obviously feed in the main bit of the straw through the hole. There we have it, it's all fitted. Rain pipe can then just get put back on the little clip over top, and then you can just feed this around the back, and then this aerial cable needs to make its way over to the stereo, or where the stereo will be. So you can just feed that down there, and you'll just want to catch it when it's being thread through. So to get this whole thing back in place, you first need to undo this main screws on the back of here, put this little poppet ring back in, and put the little cover in like that, then do it back up, and then you can just use the 3 screws to do these 3 up. So that was possibly one of the most annoying jobs I've ever done on this car, but at least it looks okay once it's all done. This is a little seal, probably settle in a bit, hopefully. That's at least there. So that's the sun visors both in with the little holders. Just goes in with this little Torx bit there, or you can use the flat blade. So they're in. Right, so where have I got to with the car? You can see all the rear interior is now in. In fact, all the interior is in. I've even whacked the stereo in as well, but I didn't connect it up. It's just a kind of blanker space at the moment because the speakers aren't in. So I'm just trying to get this car a bit more ready. It was easy enough. There's a few things to worry about, such as these rear plastics. You need to clip in the side bit first, and then you get the bit in the side where the rear seat goes. So that's something you need to watch out for. But other than that, it all just kind of clips together. It's all little plastic clips really in the main, but you can see it's pretty much come together. I would have filmed more of it, but it was just getting really dark. I just wanted to get it done, so sorry about that. But either way, it's been for its MOT and it has failed, but only on one thing. This is the major defects of things you need to do. So parking brake inoperative on near side. So near side for us is this side, so it's near side the curb. So that's what you need to look at. And then parking brake efficiency below requirements. So that was probably down to the fact that parking brake on the left hand side basically isn't working even when you pull the handbrake right the way up. So I'm just going to kind of do a quick test. I've jacked the car up. That's a nice thing about these, you can jack up on the tow hook. So what I've done is jacked it up, and so this is the side essentially that was working, the off side as we call it. So here I'm just going to go on this. This is the handbrake up, and I should be able to just undo this. Yeah, see, that's just undoing. And if I go to the other side, the side that was barely working, and if I again try and do a nut, I've already done that one. Okay, go on here, and then you can see I can spin the wheel round. So that's going to be my test. If I can fix it and undo the wheel nut with the handbrake on and the wheels jacked up, then I'll know that it's working. So that's going to be my test once I've eventually got to it. So the next thing I'm going to do now is slacken all the wheel nuts off, which I'm going to have to lower the side down for this side, so with the tyres on the floor, and then take the wheels off with obviously supporting axle stands, and I'll do that next. So this is the brake, the problem. This is the caliper I actually changed myself, and I'm going to just check that I've managed to get that little, let's try and get a good view on it. See that little peg in the brake pad there, and that's the actual piston, that's in the right place, and it's the same on the other side as well. The disc itself is a bit corroded, so that's not the best, but the pad looks like it's got a lot of meat on it, so that's pretty good. Now what I'm going to do is just check that everything's connected upright and everything's adjusted. So I'm going to go inside the car, I'm going to disconnect the handbrake cable, the car, just flip this up, there we go. This is the handbrake cable mechanism, this is the right cable and the left cable, and this is the adjuster in the middle. And then what you can do is just pull it back. This is a bit of plastic. It would often be screwed in down here, but I happen to know this one isn't. Pull the handbrake up itself and then stick it in a forward gear. There we go, that's off there. Took it out of gear so you don't forget. This is the handbrake mechanism itself, and the first thing that's good is it seems to be adjusted correctly in terms of one isn't over like that or like that. So this is centralized, which is quite nice really, because that means that probably one of the cables isn't stretched. And then what I'm going to do is just have this unwind this fully, so it's kind of off if you like, and then I'm going to pump the brakes a bunch of times to make sure the calipers are set correctly. Okay, that's fully kind of backed out, you can see it's loose. Then you can either use a ratchet spanner which swivels, quite nice, or you can use my favourite, this little Milwaukee with a 12mm single hex. Either way, back it out, it's nice and loose then, so there's no tension being put on these cables. Now what I'm going to do is start the engine up, and I'm going to pump the brakes quite a few times to make sure everything's adjusted correctly. That should mean that if they weren't already, both the calipers now correctly adjusted. You can see they're very close to the disc. Then I've just done up the adjuster by getting this on here, like so. Slide it in. Hard to do with one hand, but there we go. In like that, and then just press the button. That's quite tight enough. You can see now, nice and tight. Let's just see what our handbrake is looking over this side. Put the wheel back on. It seems like I can't move that by hand. I think the acid test now will be just try and do the wheel nuts up with it obviously still jacked up, and just a handbrake on. I've done them all up tight. I believe I've actually fixed it. So it was kind of my bad before for not getting the whole thing set up correctly before. I think I attached the handbrake cable too early. It meant that the auto adjuster couldn't work. Either way, it's all working now, and I'm very happy with that. Right, this must be a common problem with a lot of these cars now. Someone's snapped one of these. That one works. This one, you're going to got to dig down here and grab it. There we go. Annoying. So I've got a new one. Or when I say new, second hand, but a full one. And what I'm going to do is try and replace this. Bring the seat forward. First of all is a popper. So put that to one side. And then you think, oh wow, this one's been there before. Some zip ties. So what we have to do, pull off another one of these poppers down here, and then cut these zip ties and see what I'm working with. Someone's been all along here with zip ties. Either way, I managed to roll this thing back. I've got to the actual thing itself. So that's the puller. And I'm just thinking I'm going to just undo that anti-clockwise. See? Yeah. Yeah. There we go. New one off. New one on now. But you see, the thing is, I'm going to have to do this when it's all partially assembled, so I can kind of put that through, because that's not going to go through the hole. So let me just partially assemble it and try and slide that in. I'll pull this back over here, like that. And now, with this new one, I'm just going to gradually try and thread this thing up, push it in, and then hopefully it starts to get tighter. Yes. Nice. So let's just see. Yeah. Nice. Good fix. Now I just need to go through and put all these little poppers down and some zip ties to hold this in. In anybody's book, that's quite a lot of zip ties. But the idea is this is just going to get zipped through these holes, and these are going to go through these. And this lip, which is hard there, wants to go between these. I'm no upholsterer or anything. This is just how someone else has done it before with zip ties, and it probably makes the most sense if you've had it apart before. So here we go, I'm just going to do that. My popper's in first, this one holds next to the catch. And the zip ties threaded through. It kind of helps if you put a bend on the end of them so it can just kind of pull out of there. So these ones are done aside first. And now I'm going to do this, and it's going to be important for me to try and get under this lip with this little bit there. Safe to say, if you've got any upholstery need doing, don't come and see me. But either way, I've done it now. I didn't manage to get underneath all of them, but I'm kind of past the point of caring that much about this seat. Either way, I've taken out the little poppers, so I know they're all going to line up again now. And just get a bit of carpet backing stuff over the top. And then you can just kind of pop them in where they need to go here. Back together again. This little bit I don't need anymore, of course. And then let's just have a look at the moment of truth. Yeah, that's like that. There we go. Very nice. So obviously this car's had some bodywork done on it, and I think they might have put some body sealer on, but I'm not sure how much they've put on. I'm just going to put a little bit more on just to make sure we've got a solid amount on there. Got a bucket of boiling water here, and I've got the underbody seal. This is to make it nice and runny so it can be applied onto there. So what I'm going to do is basically shake that off.
How long have you left it in there for?
It's probably been in there about 15-20 minutes. Let's just use the here we go. It's nice and runny to me. So let's put that there, and then just check it.
Easy. Don't ruin the carpet.
Yeah, no. Out of the cloth as well. But that's nice and runny. So that'll be good to just whack on. So it's all been cleaned off. What I'm going to do is just apply this from camera down here. I'm going to get the picture, but
You'll come back when you've done it.
yeah, this is, you can see it's already starting to thicken up, so I'll probably grab that boiling water and stick it back in there.
Okay.
Just left it in the bucket because it's cold out here, and I don't want it to solidify, and it's already kind of solidifying again. So got the boiling water, and then the nice thing about that is that when anyone looks in here, it'll look nice and dark as well. So it has that kind of added benefit.
OEM.
So I have the axle stand in as well. I've got the bin bag protecting my brake disc and everything, and I've done as much as I can see without taking the suspension arm off, mainly concentrating on where the seam was, right up around here, around there, and just make sure I've got a good bit of coverage. So I've done both of the wheel arches there, and that was fairly easy. hardly used any of the tins, so I can use it for other cars. It's just sitting in there. And drag it out. You see, it started to actually solidify a bit. So just take that out of there, put that there, just put the lid on it, and that is that.